Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I'm going to be putting together my last StoryKitCrush project using the Kindness Story Kit from Ali Edwards. If this is your first time coming across StoryKitCrush, the idea is to pick one story kit each month and do your best to use as much of that kit as possible throughout the course of the month. So this is my last project, and this one is going to be a story about my son, Jonah. What I wanted to do was I actually took some inspiration from the December Daily Product Play 4 class, in which there was this like pieced together, almost quilted looking heart that was made out of triangles. This was something that Ali had created in that class. And what I want to do is to actually create a page that is interactive, where this heart is on maybe some kind of pattern background, and I'll have to figure that out here as we're working on this. And then to have it fold up, and underneath to have the photo and the journaling where you can see it there. But for this top portion with all of these triangles, I want to cut the triangles out of the patterns from the cards in this kit. And you know, a lot of them were blues and whites and this like mauve type red and maroon, like just some darker, deeper colors that I thought would go really nicely in Jonah's album. So that is what we are going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on fast forward while I get this all assembled, and then once everything is done, we will slow back down. I will read you my journaling, and then we will be done with the kindness kit for this month. So let's get started. All right, so I'm going to get everything cleared out of my workspace here, and then we are going to get started on this heart piece. Now, I will say that of all the StoryKitCrush projects I did this month, this one is definitely the most labor intensive. I do usually like to try and do at least one project that has a little bit more to it, and then I also do a couple of easier projects that are mostly photo and journaling, and then just a little bit of embellishing. This one is a little bit more complicated, but I love the way that it turns out. And you guys know that interactive scrapbooking is my favorite kind of scrapbooking. So there was no chance that I was not going to do something interactive with this kit this month. So that is what we're doing here. The first thing I'm going to do is take this heart piece, and now this, if you want to do this exact same spread, you can still get the Product Play 4 class from Ali Edwards. And there are so many different ideas in there that can translate to everyday scrapbooking. It's not just for December scrapbooking. The products that are being used are for December, and the stories that are being told with the designs are December in that class. But the ideas for layouts and how to get things to work in different ways, those can translate to any time of the year. And this is an example of that, right? So what I did is I cut that heart apart because I wanted to get that diamond 4 triangle square, this one right here that was in the direct middle of the heart. Once I got that out, I placed it onto this blue card that says Kindness Matters. I think it says Kindness Matters. And I am cutting that out into the square. Yes, Kindness Matters, because I want this to act as my title here on the page. This is the only one that's going to be a full, like, whatever, triangle, diamond, I suppose, a full diamond or square shape. All of the rest of them I'm going to cut into the individual triangles. But I loved the idea of having something a little bit bigger in the middle that gives this piece some context, so we know that this is going to be about kindness, and it works as a title. Once I had that done, I went ahead and cut out one of the triangles from the kit, and then I'm going to use that as a pattern to cut out triangles out of the patterns that I have left over. So I did take a lot of those, or a couple of those blue triangle pieces from the Kindness Matters kit, and I'm turning those into some of the triangles, and then I'm going to do the same with a bunch of these patterns. Now, I don't necessarily use up all of the patterns, so for the ones that are 4x6s, I cut those so that I have 3x4s remaining out of them. And then I took those and added them into my packet of materials for the Project Life spread that I'm going to create using this kit. This is another example. It's a quote in the middle that says, "We rise by lifting others." And so for this one, I trimmed it so that the sentiment was in the middle of that card, made it into a 3x4 card, and that I also will add into the Project Life materials. So I might end up with more material in that Project Life packet than I actually need. We'll see when we get there. And the reason for that is because I'm working in a 9x12 this year instead of a 12x12. So I don't have as good a gauge of how much product I need in order to do a spread. So if I have more left over, I can use that to tell another story, or I could use it to tell, to add into some of my future Project Life spreads as well. So we're just going to see, we're going to hold out and see what's left over from the Project Life stuff. So now that I have all of the triangles cut out from all of those patterns, next it's a matter of just piecing everything together. You can't see it here on my table, but I do have this pulled up on my computer. And since I have all of this digitally, I have the digital kit and I have that heart was a digital file. And you get it in a Photoshop file so that each of the triangles is a layer of its own. So you can actually clip in the cards, the digital cards, into those triangles in order to create this exact same thing, but digitally on the computer. So I did that on my computer and used that as my example for myself of how I wanted this to look here on the page. So that's why it doesn't, I'm not having to make decisions on what goes where, because I have this off to the side where I can see my own example. But that's, you'll see me momentarily break away and then come back. So, another thing I will mention is that because I want the bottom of this heart to flip up, I do need to leave just the slightest little bit of a sliver in between those top 4 triangles and the rest of it. That's going to give it enough give to let it flip. So I played with the paper just to make sure that it has enough give to it, that it will fold up without destroying those patterns in there, because if they were right next to each other, then they might, it just might cause problems when they rub up against each other. So I did make sure to do that. So now we're almost there. We just have these bottom 2 left to go. I debate switching these because I like having the scallop part towards the bottom, but I didn't want 2 scallops on the same side. So I was like, whatever, I'm just going for it. I don't care. I'm putting it on the other side. And that's fine, right? I think that's totally fine to it doesn't have to be totally 100% perfect, because I also could have cut that triangle back out of that pattern again, but I just didn't want to do that. All right, so now we've got this heart piece done. It looks so awesome. I love, 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 love the way that this looks. I also taped everything down onto a piece of just regular old copy paper that I have for my regular printer. That way it has a base to it. It will be covered up on the inside with the photo, and the top portions of the heart will just be adhered straight down onto some pattern paper. So I trimmed it all out on that paper there. And then what I can do next is figure out what I want to do with the pattern. I don't remember if I'm going to add my photo next. Yeah, actually I am. So I'm going to grab the photo from the top. And again, what I did to create that photo is digitally, I had this heart on my computer. I flipped the heart upside down, and then I clipped my photo into the heart. So then all I had to do was just cut it out of paper, and it was already the right size. If I didn't have that ability, if I didn't have the heart where I could perfectly do it, I could have just measured the absolute tallest point of the heart that I wanted to cover up and the widest part, which I believe for me was 6 inches by 4 1/4. So that's what I would have printed my whole photo out. I just would have, cut off the edges in order to make it into the heart shape. So either way it works. So next, I am working on creating a title on the journaling portion there. So I have this plastic piece that says choose goodness, and it is clear with white text. So when I put it on top of the white journaling page, you can't see it at all. So what I need to do is to create some kind of pattern, or to put some kind of pattern paper at the very top of it that can go underneath, or it'll be underneath the plastic piece. You'll actually be able to read the title there. The first thing I try is this pattern from the kit. So I cut off 2 pieces, and I do have to finagle them together because a portion of one of them was cut off, and I just had to cut into them a little bit in order to make them match. That's what I'm going to do right here. And then I can add these to the top of that journaling page. Ultimately though, and you'll see this once we get it all down, this pattern ends up being really too busy and I don't like it. So I'm going to take it back off again and start over with that paper part. Up in the upper left-hand side of the screen here, you can see that I've got this wood grain paper. That was from the Maggie Holmes, it's not Willow, Marigold. It's from the Marigold collection. And it's actually a really awesome paper. I have that one, and then I have 2 more papers up there. I think 2 of them are from Marigold, and one of them is a super, super, super old Studio Calico paper that I've had in my stash for forever. But I tried to pull out some somewhat neutral papers that I could put behind the heart, because that's what I'm going to do, is I will trim down one of those papers to the page protector size. Here I am testing out some of the papers to see what it would look like with the title piece on top of it, and I end up really liking it on top of the wood grain. So that's what I'm going to do. Next, I'm going to test this heart on top of these pattern papers. So that is the Marigold. This is another of the Marigold papers, which is, again, a really pretty one. And this is the older Studio Calico one. I feel like it might be a grid pattern. I think it's a grid pattern of sorts. And I actually really liked this one the best. It was the most neutral and let the heart, really pop off of it. Plus, I instinctively want to hoard this this wood grain paper right here, because the back side has a forest scene on it and it's just so pretty, and I actually want to use part of it in an album that I am making for my niece, because her bedroom is like foresty themed and I just think it will be perfect for her. So I want to hoard it and use it for that. So I'm just going to cut off a sliver of it and use that as my title for the Choose Goodness. So now I have those pieces done. I also have the background paper already, what do I want to say? It's already ready to go. So, or it's cut out into that page protector size right here. So then I took a chipboard piece that says Be Kind, and it's in the shape of a tab, and I just attached it onto the heart using my tiny attacher, because I don't want to take the backing off and have it stick to the page. So I stapled it on there. That's going to act as my tab to lift up the heart piece. And then I can add some adhesive to I'm first adding it to this little section of journaling. And then I'm going to use the heart, line everything up there, and then stick it down where I want it to go. When I lift it up, then you can, well, I guess not, but the heart itself, there you go. The heart itself is not adhered down at all. So I'm going to take some of my score tape. This is just the 1/8 inch score tape from scrapbook.com. I'm going to add that onto the triangle portions. I chose to do score tape because with this being an interactive piece, it will get a little bit of wear and tear on it. And score tape holds down much better, in my opinion, than roller tape, especially when you're fiddling with it all the time. So I just wanted something that was a bit stronger. I did place it a little bit crooked, so I have to fix that. And I was lucky enough that it came off the page and didn't rip anything. So that was a win. And I will readjust it here and then place those points of the heart down. Oh, sorry about my head there. So we'll place those down, and then this piece will be adhered down and looking awesome. So I love I just love how it all looks in there. So then I want to just pull over some of these chipboard pieces. I considered adding on some of the gold foil starbursts on there. I ultimately will decide no on the starbursts and set those aside for something else. And that might be what I end up doing with some of those bonus cards, which you can see right there as well. I might actually create some kind of, another spread using those. Maybe the starburst will be bullet points of a sort, or, something along those lines. So those are not going to stay. Those are going to go off to the side. But I do have 4 oval shaped chipboard pieces that say things like be kind and I don't know what else they say, but stuff like that, just like 1 words or 2 word phrases about being kind and choosing kindness. So I debate, putting them down by the point of the heart, putting them at the bottom of the page, putting them at the top of the page. Oh, maybe I can see them now. Be kind, be true, be nice. Oh, I missed it. And be something else. So I like them best right here down by the point. I thought like maybe I would put 3 on one side and 1 on the other, and then have the tab be like it's a second one. But I didn't like that it was imbalanced. Like I wanted there to be 2 and 2 or 3 and 3. And because I only have 4 of them, it was going to be 2 and 2. So I added the, be nice and the be, what does that say? Be real. There it is. Be real, be nice, and be true. I added down by the point. And then I was like, well, maybe I can put the be kind under kindness matters, which would have worked fine too. The reason I chose not to put that one on here is because the tab says be kind. So I thought it, was a little bit repetitive to have the same thing twice. So I put that away for now. I grabbed out some of the tiny phrase stickers to see if I wanted to add anything else with those, and I ultimately decided not to just keep it simple here. And then I thought, well, wait a second, what if I added the chipboard piece underneath the tab? And I actually like the way that looks, because when you lift it up, I didn't like that there was this giant gap there. I thought that just felt awkward. So now you can't really see it when the point is down. And then when you lift it up, then you still have the 4, which makes it feel balanced. So next I'm going to add my date stamping. And then after that, this spread is done. All right, friends, that finishes this last spread using the kindness kit. And this one might be my favorite one of them all. I just love the way that this heart came out, and I love how it's interactive and shows the picture of my son. I love this picture of him. It's just everything to do with this is awesome. So let me go ahead and read you what I wrote. This was just a random picture. I had us all go outside at the beginning of the year to take pictures. I like to start out our year that way every year, so this was just one of those. I put this Choose Goodness title here at the top, and then I wrote this. I said, today, you asked to get a snack out of the cabinet, and as soon as I said yes, you grabbed 2. 1 for you and 1 for Sissy. Today, you sat down and colored with Izzy, enjoying being able to do an activity together. Today, you ran around screaming, playing tag with the big kids, and having the time of your life. Today, you sang the birthday song to Aunt Can and Papa and made their days. Today, you were such a sweet boy, and it made me smile big. So the whole concept for this one was I knew I wanted to tell a story about kindness throughout the day. And so I chose to spend this particular day, the 4th, really paying attention to Jonah and all of the things that he was doing that were kind throughout the day. And then that became the story. So yes, super love this. I hope that you guys have felt inspired this month as we have been crushing the kindness kit. I have 3 prior stories and then a few other projects that I had done with this kit prior to using it for StoryKitCrush this month. And also, if you're looking for more ideas for the kindness kit, my friend Tashi is also posting videos and photographs on Instagram her videos are on YouTube, photographs on Instagram of how she's using this kit this month as well. So definitely make sure to go check out her stuff. I will have her YouTube channel linked down below for you in case you want to go over there. So that brings us to next month and StoryKitCrush. This series goes all year round. We just pick different kits for the different months. So in February, Tashi and I are going to be crushing the Cozy Kit from Ali Edwards. We just thought that here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's still winter in February and we're still inside a lot and feeling cozy. And we thought that that would be a great opportunity to tell some stories about being warm and cozy in our homes. So that's what we're going to be doing. I hope that you will join us if you have that kit, and if you don't, still join us. Just use a kit from your stash that you have that you would like to try and use up in February. If you enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of the content I have coming your way. I will be back again on Monday with a story project for one of my story albums. And until then, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.